Let's get building.
Hello there, welcome to JonnyBuildz. I am your host, Johnny, and yes, let's get building indeed. We are doing something quite different. We've been doing that the last couple weeks. We've been doing some different things, looking at some stuff that's going to be customized, or doing for a display that's not quite your normal thing that you see that's a Lego set or whatever. Just that's the time period I'm in right now. We're doing a lot of mocking and trying to do some original things. So what we're doing tonight is a building that I discovered about 5 months ago, quite by accident, and it's actually in Pittsburgh, near where I live. I started a new job and happened to be outside for lunch and looking across the way, and I was like, huh, that's a very colorful building up there on the mountain. Hey, good evening. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in as always. And this building is, at least by me, called the Pittsburgh Building Block building. It's a really unique looking piece. We're gonna go through the images here that I have. This is if you were in the building, this would be the left side of it. And the yellow portion faces over the cliff/mountain of Mount Washington. And so the blue part is the garage portion. The red is the weird leaning part. We've got some of these brownish gray parts, and then the yellow is kind of in the front. And this thing was created a few decades ago, and the architect that built it, designed it, still lives there as far as I know, or as far as I've read. And there's some rumors that have surrounded this particular house. Some people have said that it was an MTV house at one point, which it wasn't, but that's kind of the rumor, because people were like, oh, it's unique, it's a weird looking thing. But that's the back. And this is kind of interesting. As you can see, some of the yellow comes in through the back. It's like one big long thing sticks out the back here. And then this is from again, if you're inside the house, from the right side, you can see part of it actually leans, like the whole part of it tilts to the right. And that's a little bit closer, a little bit nicer view of the front side of the building. And then this picture is from the top, and you can really see the lean of the building, or part of the building at least. It's really kind of unique because the front yellow part actually kind of looks like the spine of a book, especially with how the roof is black, like almost like it's the pages, and then there's like an edging there, like it's the cover of a book. And then this is from the bottom. You can kind of see how it juts out, and it's got these walkways and everything. I don't know if I'm going to do the walkways or be able to do the walkways with all the stuff I have going on this next month. But we'll see. We're going to do our best. You can see there's like a little platform at the top right, like a widow's walk style type thing, a little deck or whatever. And then back to the original. So this is going to be the images, and I have some other images that aren't as good, but they're from Google Earth, and so they give me some other perspectives and things for to design this and figure this out. So we're going to use as much of the pieces, and this is still pieces I have from the haul that I got over the last 2 months. And where I've been, it's really neat. It's I had no idea it was there, and I had someone else that's from Pittsburgh. They're like, where is this building? It's just one of those things that I had no idea. So we're gonna try to design it for the mock town that I'm doing. That's kind of old school town, just using normal bricks. If you look at that last picture, this one, you can see the front yellow kind of curves a bit. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to make it straight because it's going to be hard enough to do. But I have this. I got my my lug bulk order in, and I forgot that I ordered some windows. So this will be perfect. We're gonna not use them like this. We're gonna flip them around because they do indent one way, and that'll be perfect windows for this. So what I'm thinking is, so if you look on the front, there are 27 windows, and then from other angles, see how we've got 6 windows on that side and 6 windows on this side. So we're looking at 6 times 5. We're looking at 30 windows just in the front. So good thing I have 100. And then on the top, if you look, that red, the window tilts along with the building. Like it's inset in there, and it tilts along with the building. So which is kind of neat and different. So we're gonna try to do just as much as we can. So in order to do this right, because we need a space between the windows, we're gonna do something like that. And I think that'll work. Now the problem is going to be, oh, that might work. Never mind. Between the windows, like between the floor levels, like that's a little bit thinner. But if I have enough to do it, then I'll do something like this. So let us see what we got as far as pieces go. Anyway, what did you have for dinner tonight? If you had dinner. A little bit of cat hair, which is always a mainstay here. And that bottom part is a little bit, so that'll work perfectly like that. Okay, so there's our, it's a little hard to see because we've got this blue here, but there we go. So those are our first, So now I gotta look for other pieces in here, and then, ooh, and that's, oh, I gotta do this all the way around. So how far are those side windows? So we're just doing a corner here, and then we'll do the windows like here. And if you notice, some of it down at the bottom is hidden by that brownish gray portion of building. And then, yeah, I think that'll work. I think that'll work fine. Yeah, all right. So that's what we're working. So yeah, what'd you have for dinner, if you had dinner? How is your week shaping up so far? I think I'm going to... That was not a nice break. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to solidify it here, because I don't know how I'm going to connect this all yet. I have to leave the ability to connect. So we're going to actually make this go further. I'm going to get a 3x2. Which I should. There's a lot of yellow pieces in here. Which, if you notice, in the poll, yellow was not one of the choices. And you would think, I mean, like, you can see how many yellow pieces I have here. Like, I would, that would be one of them, but it's not. Kind of interesting, huh? Yeah, this building is pretty cool. It's definitely different. I'm going to get a bottom. I'm going to go back to the bottom view. There we go. Gives me kind of a more clear view of just the part that I'm working on here. So it has a wider gap here, and then between the windows it's even. I'm going to do as even as I can, but I don't know if I have enough flat ones. I keep saying things, and then I find the flat ones that I need. So. The hard part is going to be these corners, though. And I'll explain why in a second. And actually, I might... If I have 8x... I have other boxes, just because I know this is potentially going to be a difficult... That's another 8. Another 8, another 8. This is going to be potentially difficult to do with just the pieces I have, so... What is that? All right. That one has writing on it, unfortunately. That we can take care of. I do need to go. I do need to get one of my other bins because I'm going to need a lot of flat pieces for this. Just for this part. Everything else, I think I'll be able to do very blocky, depending on how I make it. But this in particular, the guy, by the way, he designed this purposely, not to look like Lego, but to look like building blocks. That was kind of his vision for this, and I think he did a good job. It tends to lend itself to be, you know, it can be done, you know, in Lego. So. That's what we're going to work on. I'm getting all these 1x1s because I'm going to need them. There's a 2x1 that shouldn't be in there, but you know, it's going to be useful. Let me go get my other bins that have some of the smaller plate pieces in it. And don't worry, I don't have to go far. It's like right over here. So I have them up here. So let me go. Actually, I'll leave this up here. This, I think, is going to be the most complicated part of this build. So first thing to get done. There they are. All right. By the way, I started working on the boot last night, starting to get it clean, and so far so good. Taking a little bit of doing to learn how best to clean it, but so far so good. If you don't know what the boot is, there's some pictures on Instagram of this thing I got about a couple weeks ago. And it is a massive and really cool. Hey, you are good to see you. Hey, your highs came through properly this time. It didn't say what it normally does. It actually says the right thing. That's interesting. But this boot was given to, they made several of them, and it was given to retailers and stuff as kind of a way to attract people in, you know, to see Lego, and, you know, whatever. And, which is, I mean, I remember as a kid seeing the contest at like Kmart and stuff like that, giant red hippo and stuff like that. So like, you know, there's a long precedent of doing that sort of Lego, you know, doing those kind of things. But I've not seen one like this before ever, so it's really cool. All right, so let's build our corners. And actually, I'm going to use, for here, I'm going to use 2x. And actually, I can do that with a lot of this stuff. Because again, you're not going to see the inside, so. What did I do with that? Losing my mind. More yellow pieces. Hopefully you're having a good night. Anything particular you're working on? Any plants, anything like that? Oh, lots of yellow. Now the inside can be anything we want it to be. Any kind of frame or whatever that I'm going to do, it can be whatever. All right, I need to get one more thing. Look out! Look out, Big C! Ah. And it doesn't matter. There's no yellow in there anyway. All right. So all my yellow, a lot of my yellow is right here. So hey, Priavor, how you doing? Yeah, it kind of looks that way, doesn't it? But yeah, this thing is a Pittsburgh special, and kind of cool to build something that, and again, I didn't even know it was there until I got my current job, and I was like, what is this thing? All right, so nope, right there. And that's okay. We'll do it one by one. This is our first layer of windows right there. Okay. And it's hard to even see them. This is a mock. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am doing a mock of this Pittsburgh building block. Yes, absolutely. All right, so I need to fill in down here. Let's grab a red. So we're going to support everything that we're doing. Hey, how you doing there? Good to see you, Ben. I got the new Spider-Man tank from Brand New Day. Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen Brand New Day. I do need to see it. But yeah. So this is here, I'll go through the pictures. And of course, like, I'll go through the pictures again here of this thing. So this is kind of the bottom front of the, I'm calling it the Pittsburgh Building Block House, because that's what he designed it off of, building blocks. But this is from kind of, if you're viewing it, obviously, from kind of off to the right a bit. And this is to the side of it. The blue is garages, two-car garage. You'll see the back in a second and be able to see it more. There you go. There's our garages. And you can see that part of the yellow comes all the way through as like a big giant beam or whatever, and splits them, which is kind of a neat design. And then this is the left side. With, you can see the leaning portion of the thing. Another side from the right. This is kind of from the top, and this makes me think that like he was kind of imagining it be almost like the red part is book, or not book. The red part is block, and then the yellow part is like a book. Because if you look at it, it curves a little bit in the front, and then it looks like there's like a spine, like, you know, the tops of the pages is the top of the roof of the yellow, but then you have these sides that jut up a little bit, that make it look kind of like it's, you know, it's a book on its side. And then we're back down to the bottom. So I'm not going to make it curve in the front. That's just too difficult for what I'm trying to accomplish right now. But we are going to do lots and lots of customizing. So let's use, I want to use a nicer piece. Do that. And then let's see if I have a... Nope. Need a 6x2. There we go. Perfect. All right. Yeah, it is a really cool building. It really, really is. So I think I'm going to do 2 layers. Whoops. And actually, you know what? I can make all of this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make all of this be... I don't have to make it narrow necessarily. 2x1. We can go to the next layer of windows. So I think that'll be decently even as far as spacing goes. The bottom is a little bit thicker, so. So there's rumors that surround this building. One of them being that like it was an MTV building, like for like the Real World or whatever it, you know, the one of those shows. But it was not. And like I didn't even know this existed until I got my new job and happened to just be looking out at the hill. But and apparently there's a lot of people that are that way, where they're like, what is this building that exists here, you know? But some architect back in the 90s decided this is what I want to build for my house, and so he did. That's pretty much it. And so Ben, I'm lucky I got my my lug bulk order in, because I got 100 of these windows, and they're perfect to have as the windows to go in here. So yeah, I would say it's B-list popularity because not many people know about it. I don't think so. But hey, you know, I have seen it on a couple websites, but not a lot. And I did, I said earlier, I did look at some. Oops, I can't use that piece. That would just not work. Anyone know what this is from, by the way? What this piece was originally for? Leave it right there. Anyone know what that was originally for? It's been used for other things, but the original use of that particular piece with the little face. It's a house. The architect that built it, designed it, still lives in it, as far as I know. So this was the house he wanted on top of Mount Washington. So it's essentially on a cliff, and you can tell from some of the pictures that he's kind of up on a mountain, and it overlooks Pittsburgh. It overlooks the city. So it's going to make this pretty big, but that's okay. It's part of the fun, figuring out. So. Okay, do this again. It would be funny if it was a museum. It actually really would. Like like if it came up on the market, if I had the money, I would so buy this and be like, this is my Lego house now. Or this is my brick, my brick building house. So. You're on the right track as far as early creator, but it was for a very, very, very specific figure. Well, I've never seen the Denver Art Museum. I'll have to look at pictures of it. But this is for a very, very, very specific figure. Here, well, that's interesting. Maybe this architect designed that museum. Who knows? Who knows? See now that this whole house, just like the whole boot thing, is leading me. Yes, it is for Santa Claus. Yep, that's exactly right. You are correct. That is the original face for the brick built Santa Claus. He's about yay big, not very tall. But that's what that is. Yeah, it would be neat to see like what he's actually designed. I'm sure he's known other places that he's designed big buildings or whatever, to be able to afford something like this and design it and everything. That requires know-how. All right, so there we go. Getting there. This is a halfway almost, and we're gonna do that again. I like doing this with these 3x2s. Now all these pieces here, you see all this yellow, and notice I didn't have the yellow in the pole. All this yellow is from the one haul that I got, that where I have the yellow castle. I've got several other buildings. Well, now that's interesting. I don't know if that's an actual set or not. Like an old school set. I haven't. I've gone through these pieces just to sort them, but I haven't looked in detail at all of them. That, now I'm curious. The Spirit of St. Louis. I wonder. Oh, jeez. That's another rabbit hole I'm gonna have to go down and see if that's an actual set or anything. Actually, Ben, do me a favor if you're paying attention. Well, that's not Spirit Halloween, so yeah, that definitely would not work. All right, so let's do this, and then I'm gonna do. I don't know. That looks too nice. That looks too nice of a sticker. It's not quite 100% on there the way it should be, but yeah. Seriously, set 4, 5. Oh man, jeez. I have to look now. See, now I have to look it up. Hold on. That's incredible. Which means that I probably have it in here. Oh my word, that's so cool. So here's the. Yeah, it says brick yellow. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. So that's the Spirit of St. Louis plan. It's just very simple, which is what they did a lot back then. So this is a 1977 set. That's interesting. So yours says 456. Mine says, this one says 661. So it depends on whether it was from England or from the U.S. But so apparently I have that plate in here. Hi Brett. Hi everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So we're working on this really cool mock for a house that is designed to look like building blocks, but it translates to Lego very well, obviously. So we're about halfway done with the front. So I think that looks pretty good so far. It does look like a brick start, but again, this is from, what did you say, 1977, Ben? So if this is from 1977, that goes along with the boot that's back here. Here, I'll let me show the boot. There's the top of the boot. That's from 1975. And I have one of my other sets that's from 1968 that's way over here. It's an old red and white house that didn't have instructions, just a vague picture of like, here, you can build this, so do it. That's how Lego did it back then. There were no instructions. There was just, hey, this is the box, do that. That is really cool. This is so cool. I definitely have to build this for my little mock town. So all right, we're keeping that off to the side. I'll have to look for the instructions because they did have instructions in the 70s. Yeah, so this house is going to be fun. All right, so we're gonna do some bracing here in the back. I guess I don't have to do. I guess the coloring doesn't matter, but I want to be careful. We got to start thinking about how we're going to do some of these other parts of it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so let's go here. This was one marketplace find. This is the one that I got about 2 months ago. That was the Yellow Castle that had some of these older sets in it and stuff. This guy had it in his attic for like 30, 40 years. And his kids didn't want to play with it. And I'm like, I will use it, you know? All of this is from one haul that the guy had. This is where I got the classic space stuff that you saw. Like the thing that's the newest is the Blacktron Batrax. That's the thing that's the newest in this whole lot, which is going to be fun to put together. But I got like the original cargo thing with the airplane. I got the motorcycle shop, just a whole bunch of random stuff that he had in there. And it's just like, so this is all yellow pieces from what is it? This was an old Technic set that was in there too. It's got like the old style treads in it that are like really, really big to go on those big red wheels and stuff. Like, I have that all bagged up, but I'll probably use some of these pieces for this because I'm not building it right now. But yeah, a lot of this was all from that, and it's just a lot of pieces. So, what's our poll at, by the way? Oh, I can't see the. For some reason, it's not showing me the percentage this time. I'll have to look on my phone to see what percent we're at. But I'll be curious to see what people think as far as like coloring wise. What is? Yeah, it's really cool. This is such a neat. Here, I'll go through the pictures real quick for you guys. That's from the right side. The blue is garage. There's 2 garages. You can see how they're split, and they're actually split by this big yellow beam that comes from the main house, which is kind of cool. Which I'm going to have to incorporate in here somehow. Actually, that reminds me. I'll go through the pictures first, and then I'll kind of go back. This makes it look like a book. The front looks like a book. And that's where we were starting. So if I do it from the side here, it looks like the yellow is not quite... So it looks like right about here, right about in the middle of the spine of the book, I guess. Nah, maybe one up. There would be like a main beam running through. And I actually saw like two pictures of the inside of this house. And it's only 2 stories, but like everything is kind of big, you know, it's got like big vaulted ceilings and stuff. This is in Pittsburgh. I can actually give you the actual address. It's now my head is I have it listed here. It is Cola Street in Pittsburgh. It's on Mount Washington, and this house just sits there. And I saw it when I started my new job at PNC. I looked across the river the one day, and I'm like, that is a very colorful house up there. And that's kind of where this started. So, all right. So we got to start looking at. So this bottom part here is going to be hidden by whatever this. There's like, you can see this like grayish. It's like grayish brown. I don't have grayish brown. I don't really have a lot of gray either, especially not like that color. So I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. But I'm gonna do that afterwards. I'm just gonna build this up for the main colors, and then go from there. Okay, that shows that. Shows our lean. Oh, this was something cool too. There we go. So this was so I finished up the Alpha 1 rocket base. I hadn't had it completed, but he had some of the parts in here for it. So I had one already, and in the box was one of these, and I'm like, that is perfect to make the house lean. So everything's just worked out nicely. All right. And these 2, I gotta get rid of the little dimple where the pieces were molded from, because I think that ruins how it looks. There we go. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you're having a great day, great evening. What are you having for dinner? Or what did you have for dinner? All right, so we got, that's the first story, essentially. You know, it's got big sections. So we got that. Get some more windows. Burgers will be served soon. All right. Chicken and veggies. You know what? Sometimes simple is awesome. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is. I need to get... I don't want to waste one of those. There we go. That still tickles me that that's an actual set. That's so awesome. Even though it's a tiny set, doesn't matter. That's just cool. Hopefully I don't use up all the pieces here for it. Okay, there's our mold point. So 2 days of yard work, you're chilling, trying to make oh nice. Cod is usually pretty easy. You just don't want to, just make sure you don't overcook it. That can happen very quickly. Just a light fillet. Just a light fillet. Right. So I cannot see the poll results right now. What percentages are we at currently with the different colors? Just out of curiosity. For some reason my streaming software is not giving me the right updates for stuff. So. All right, next layer. Let's ooh, I got a 10, nice. Perfect. White is 14%, black is 14%. So here's what you have to, so I was saying just a little bit ago that like yellow was not one of those, even though it looks like I have way more yellow pieces than I do any of the others. Blue 29 and red 43. Yeah, that would, I will say this, that would be my original thoughts, is like red would be number one. Wait, let me just see. Ah, there we go. Good. So yeah, that was going to be my original yes. Would have been red. But is it the correct one? We'll find out. And remember, it's to this date. That can change, and it's been changing over the course of time. I will tell you that the answer currently, as of right now, is 11% of all production of Lego brick colors. 11%. It probably won't help you any, but it's kind of a neat statistic. Different. 11%. Does that help? Probably. We're 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th, so we'll have one more after this. Sticking with black. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. That would have been my second. Notice I don't have gray in there, even with all the Star Wars sets and everything. And space, classic space sets and everything. Gray is not on there. Yeah. Well, it's a hard one. It's not one that most people know, or would think to look up. And for something like this, you shouldn't look it up anyway, because it's supposed to just be fun. You know, see if you can make a guess, and it's a correct guess. And I have a lot of these faces in here. There's another one. Anyone want a Santa Claus? I'll make you one. I'll make you a JonnyBuildz special. Hey, you have reasons. Oh, like another 10. That's perfect. So perfect. Another face. Anybody else? Anybody want a Santa Claus smiley or a Santa Claus? I'll build one. Not tonight, but I will. So, just to give you guys a little bit of early warning. This weekend, Saturday, starting at noon, I will be at our local damn store that Hot is at. And I will be building live, starting at noon, the JonnyBuildz Angry Build set, which is bullet bill in layman's terms, but they can't call it that because they don't have the license rates for it. But I will be doing that this Saturday. We'll be streaming it. But if you're in the Pittsburgh area, come say hi. Noon until I'm done. So, green? What is green? Oh, you want a green Santa? Like an elf? Oh, that one. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be cool. All right, so big hair. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got one more layer to do. One more, and then we are done with this particular part. Nope. Don't want to put that in there. Surprised it's not green. Why green? That's an interesting statement. Why would you think it's green? Is the most now you got to remember if you're talking a base plate, and I see where you're going with that. Base plates, a base plate is still considered one part. You know, even though it's so big, we're looking at individual parts, and there have been a lot of base plates to be sure, but apparently not enough. And they've gotten away from just green base plate. Like in the early days, absolutely. But like, you know, it's been a while since they've done green. Here's another one. Gosh, how many Santa Claus did this guy have? Alright, I need a drink. Oh wait, here's my original one. So there's 5 down there. 5 Santa Claus. And I'm sure in some of the stuff that I've done, like I probably have a couple faces that are in there. But that's a lot of Santa Clauses. Actually, I'll have to look and see what other things they're in. I know it's not just Santa Claus, but where's my 1 by 1? Gotta see if I have any more yellow 1 by 1. So there's 1. I need 2 more. Perfect. Santa Clausopidis? What? Is it? I've never heard that before. Alright, so here's where we got to be interesting. So the top does have an edge, but it's not a very big edge. In fact, like, it's probably just this size, and then it goes all the way around. So it would be like this. Like that. But then we're going to have black as the finishing. Where's my black? And I don't have, from this lot, I don't have a lot of black, so. Not quite. Need that. Perfect. There we go. There's an 8. I need an 8x4 if I have it. I don't know if I do. There's a 4x4. Another 8x2. Another 8x2. Maybe I'll just do that. Let's do the 8x2s and then an 8x1. And this will go up to the edge where we have, and in fact, this part goes further back. So probably do longer than that. On the side. You're correct. Very good, Jerry. That is what this is. This is that house. This is the building block house that I only discovered this year. I had no idea it was there, and apparently a lot of people don't know it's there. Good to see you. But yes, that's what it is. So I can do longer. Maybe I'll do 2 of those. So yes, you are correct. It is that house. I had never seen it before. I didn't know it existed. All right, so I need to we'll do some other bracing for it. Essentially, this is what we're going for here. This is our front of the building block house. So, yeah. All right, so there we go. We've got the initial, the rest will be easy to fill in, really, because it's just some yellow on the sides here. But they're either side is by this grayish, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that color. I'm not too worried about that right now. Yeah. So how did you know about it? That brings up a good question. I'm curious how you knew about that house, because it's been there for a while, but I just never looked up there in that part of Mount Washington. So go away, bad hair. All right. So this is our front. Let's work on the red. So the red is going to come down here. So like if we have this way, the red is longer. It comes down out to here and in here, but it's still out a bit. So the question is, how long do we want it? It has a black roof too. But I want to get a general. Not going to be too long. That actually might work. So whatever this is, lengthwise. I have to see to be sure. I don't have that much black, at least not up here. Wait, maybe I lied. I just turn around. It's like, hey, there's Lego pieces here. All right. Something goofy on that one. Oh, that makes sense. See, I've never really looked up there beyond, because I don't go, generally that far past. So that's really cool. It's a really, really neat house. And when I saw it, I was like, that would be perfect to do as a Lego build. So I'm customizing this Lego build. Some kind of funk on there. Let's put it on the back. Alright, so this will be our roof for the red part. And the red part is just going to be red. It's just red block. So let's do a little bit wider. Nope, that's great. There we go. All right, so that's how wide we're going to make it. So, but what we'll have to do is, as I develop this, we're going to use some solid bricks here at the top. Give it our starting point. I have to, so you see the window that's in there. That's the very first thing that we have to make sure we do. And both, I was wrong. I thought one window was straight and one window wasn't. But it is not true. They're both actually slanted, but they're catty corner to each other. So if we look at the one picture from the back, no, I haven't. Not yet. There we go. There's the other window. This window is on the opposite side. It's on the opposite corner. So we have to have one here and one over here. So. That really shows the lean. There we go. All right. No, I haven't been to any of those. I haven't been to see that at all. So someday. All right, let's do this. Making our roof. What happens if I fall off a roof? There we go. So if we look, this is going to be kind of like this. Right, like that. And actually, of course he's an architect, it looks like this corner here, this corner matches up with right here. Like it looks like where it's sitting, just by the look of everything. Like it's about this high up. And then the window's gonna come down. The slightly bigger window than what these are, but I'm not gonna. It's the whole campus. Oh, geez. That's really cool. I think I know of who designed it. He's designed a lot of buildings around. That's kind of what he does as a business. We got that window there. This window here. It's going to go kind of like this. Something just like this. Food's ready. Enjoy. I'm going to put it in one on both sides. It'll make it easier to build, and I think it'll just look overall more the part. All right. Now we get to start making some red brick all the way down. Now the fun part about this is going to be the fact that everyone drop a like. Oh, thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. I don't think to say that stuff. Nice thing is we don't have to. This doesn't have to be solid because it's hidden by so much stuff. So about here. Trying to get it a little above, so like right there. And I think that'll look pretty good. Just have to find out where the lean down at the bottom is going to go. You know. All right. So there's a section of building that's here that's going to hide a lot of this, so we won't have to do all of this, but we got to do some of it. We definitely have to do each wall, but this wall only goes so far down, and then it reaches more building. So again, I'm not sure what color I'm going to make these two sections that jut out. It's a weird color, and at least with this stuff, I don't have enough black. But I'm going to do the basic 3 color parts of it, and then I'll, fudge the rest. I might do brown because I have a lot of brittle brown. I just have to be careful with it. So, all right. So, really weird. YouTube's being goofy with stuff. I don't know if you guys are getting blips or anything, but it seems to be having some issues. Which I shouldn't have any stream issues overall because I got DSL now, or not DSL, I have fiber now. So, all right, so there's the blue. Yeah, it'll be hidden by both. So I don't really have to do like down to here maybe, and then the edge obviously needs to be done. So it'll be like staggered here. Very, very, very dark gray. Yeah, it's a weird color. Yeah, hold on. Let's look at it. That doesn't give a good... Here in that one kind of is okay. That looks more brown. This is kind of the best picture of it, I think. It's kind of a weird... It's like a weird brownish gray color. So I don't know if I don't have anything that's really going to be like that. Brown just might make the most sense just to, have it be a standout color versus gray. Gray is for Star Wars. That's about it. Shouldn't use it for anything else. Ooh, this is one of these old original Lego bricks. You can see the difference in the coloring because of the quality of the plastic. Still says Lego on every stud, but it is a little bit different. The inside is actually very different. This one's a little bent, but yeah. And in fact, this is still an old brick because it doesn't have all the things sticking to it and everything. It doesn't have the lines through here to help with the rigidity. And you can tell because when I put it in, it kind of doesn't stick 100% as good as it should. That's what it is with these older bricks. There's a couple. I don't want to use these. I want to save these for other stuff. So if I find these, I'm gonna put them to the side. I'll put them with the Santa Claus faces. That's what this was. See, here's older brick versus newer brick. You can see it's got the lines that bisect it to help with the get a little closer. See the lines there through the stud, or through the, I guess, the anti-stud parts. Kind of neat to see the differences. And look, this just fits, but it pulls right out. It doesn't have very much. It's been worn over time, so I'm not going to use that. Using these bigger pieces. Okay, so if you look at an older style, it's solid. The circles are solid. This one is a newer brick. And you see the line that's through. You can just barely tell that it's different. But you see the line that goes through, it divides, it bisects every single, like I can put my fingernail in here. It bisects each of these sideways to help with pushing, like whenever the studs actually go in. It allows these to slide. Yeah. This isn't even that new, but it's newer, you know. This is even newer than that. Okay, so you see this one. Then you have this one. You see the line right down here in the middle? That's another way that they're making it so that these things are different. They even have the ridges on the inside here too, on the inside of the... See those little bumps there? That's all to help with the rigidity. They've done so many different designs over the years. Yeah. All right. But yeah, it definitely makes a difference. You can tell an order brick simply by whenever you put it on, and it like just wants to pull off. It doesn't have much, you know, it has too much give. So, all right. So we're a little bit better here. Right about like that. Oh, I gotta see the other picture. There we go. Ah, losing my window. I need, let's do... Get the windows in there so they don't fall out. And I have something to push against. So right about like that. Based on the... Oh, whoops, nope. Right like that. Okay. Based on the image. And this kind of goes right about to there, to this corner here. So the angle is about like this. And it's really whatever it's going to work whenever I make it. But like that, it's about how it should be. I almost want to tilt it more so that you can kind of see that it is angled, but that's about right. Okay. So this whole part, we actually don't have to build much further. We only have to build a little bit down here. I'm going to do this whole one though. Simply because you won't see it, at least on the front. This is also cool too. You can see the difference between the 8x8 or the 8x1s. You see how these have this is newer. It has a line in every other one that goes straight up and down. This one just has, whoops, this one just has holes in them. It's just a different design. Different way they designed the bricks. Get some of these in here. And the different brick designs is really interesting, kind of to see how they've gone. Okay, so if we do this, welcome back, you are. Thanks for tuning in. So that is about how we want this, right like that. It's got a lean to it. Alright, so if this is the case, and it's going to be hidden back here by some of the other stuff, it's got to come down a little bit more, and then it doesn't have to anymore. So it's going to look really goofy. This is going to have a big hole in it. I was just commenting on the differences between the older, this is older style Lego brick on the bottom, and this is newer. You can see the lines that go through, lines that go up and down here in this one and every other one. This one just has holes. holes in the anti-studs. That was how they tried to address the things with oh, what you call it, the with the clutch power. That one should be an 8. Let's make it an 8. Okay, there we go. What I'm doing though too is this is allowing me to, I'm gonna make openings, because right about here we're gonna do the beam. Right about here we're gonna do the beam that goes all the way back, that ends up the back side. You see how this beam in between that bisects the garage, that goes in between? That beam is going to come all the way down through here. So we're going to have that come through here, even though it's not going to really connect. That'll open that up. But we can do that. I'm going to use up all my 6x9s. Alright. Part of the fun, right? And actually on the back side, that actually, whoops, that's an ugly brick. That's a dirty brick. Dirty brick. Not as dirty as my my boot. I'll show that. I'll show my progress with the boot here whenever I'm done. That is weird. All right, hold on, we're gonna get rid of this too. There's like a little mark right there. Switch this around. Because I don't want that mark sticking out, even if it is like a, you know, it makes it look like, oh, you know, it's realistic. Like it's nice, and obviously this guy's building is nice and smooth. So. Yep. There you go. All right, there we go. So again, we're leaving this open, this part, because you won't see it. It's going to be back here. And we're going to have this beam that runs through all the way here that helps secure everything. We're going to beam all the way back. And that's what you're seeing in the picture right now, is that beam comes all the way through in between both halves. This is the only picture where you really see it. And it runs all the way through between both halves of the garages, and you know, there it is. So. Alright, so let's go back to the coat. There we go. And we only have to go so far down on this side because, again, we're going to have, let's see, how high up does the brown go on that side? So this part, so the right side corner is up to the third window. So it's up to here. So this side has to come down. If it was there, it would be probably 5 blocks. We probably have to do 7 blocks to get down. No, that's the thing. So it might be. I've looked up, you know, information for this thing the last couple weeks as I've been kind of preparing to do this, and no, there's no. I haven't seen any record anywhere of what it actually is. But that's okay. I can approximate pretty close. That's what you do when you mock things up. It's kind of like, let's guess. Let's make something work. but the angle is definitely not very steep. I mean, it looks steeper than it is, but it's yeah, it's only not even 30 degrees. But guessing is like it is true. It very is. Very much very is. That yeah. Very much is. All right. So and again, these you can tell these are older bricks because of how they go in, and it's like they don't have the clutch power that like newer ones have. Very, very, very telling. Oh, there's a 3x2. That's one of the old bricks. This is from 1968. That's from the set that the one set that I have. There's probably another set in here. I just don't know what it would be. Too hard to tell whenever they don't have instructions. Yeah, it's going to be a weird. Not going to be an even number. like 30 60 90 is a typical, but the slope of this is like way more. All right. There. Ooh, I'm almost there. Okay. Okay, I'm almost there. Sweet. And this side is going to go the other way. It's going to be, because it's leaning in this way, we're going to do bricks out this way, and it's not. It's eventually going to run in, so the part that juts out here, the bottom of it reaches right there. So yes, the architect still lives there as far as I've read. So yeah, I guess I could ask. That would just be weird. Be like, hey, what angle is your house at? And actually, he would probably be like, that's not a weird question. He'd probably be like, huh, well, the way I designed it, which would actually be a cool, very cool conversation to have. We'll do a new segment. It'll be Johnny Asks. All right, this should be enough. So let's see. Right about there. Everything kind of lines up. Oh yeah, that's definitely there. That's definitely where it needs to be. Right at that third window, right there. Yeah, this is gonna be good. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna stop there for now. I'm building it out of Lego. That's very possible. Yeah. So I like your house. I'm building it out of Lego. Yeah, I mean, it'd just be like, here, you want a whole tour? Then I'd be like, that's a little too much. I'm not at that point. All right, so let's look at this other brown portion. And again, I am going to do it in brown just because I think that's the only thing that'll work. All right, you can kind of see it. It's in the shadow over on the left of the book. It looks like a book. And so it's not going to need very much here. And that comes up. Let me see if I get another, if I have another. Okay, that tells me, oh, that's all the way up. That's all the way up to the 5th window. So it doesn't even need. Yeah. This you're going to barely see. Like, I'm going to do one more. The back might be a little bit different, but that's all right. The lean definitely gives it character, right? Cool. All right. And that's up to the 5th window. That's hidden over there. I'll do one more. Do one more full layer here. And that should be enough. Yeah. Okay. You know what? since I have these, I want to use them. And I have another one in here. Let's do that. I don't have any more 8s, but I have 2x2. And another. Oh, there's another one. I got as you can tell, I have plenty of red pieces. So does that give anyone any ideas? Do you think maybe red is the answer? Is red the most produced Lego color as of right now? Yeah, and that'll fit. Yeah, we'll be able to have the beam go through perfectly. That'll fit right there. Now we'll start backing off. So this, what you're seeing here, is my mock process. I do not typically, I mean, I've used Studio a little bit here and there, mostly for contests that I've done with like Ben and some of the other people. See ya, Ben. Thanks for tuning in. You picked red. All right. Well, a little bit later. Well, Ben's leaving. He'll have to. I'll send him a message on Discord and let him know what the color is, so he doesn't have to come back and look at everything. Well, no, I can just tell you, Ben, the color you picked is correct. You are correct. Tell Beth we said hi. Yeah, I like to build my mocks. I don't know. I have something against, I mean, using the technology to design is all cool and stuff, but I don't know, something about like, just to see if I can do what I'm doing, then, you know, I kind of want to build it, so. All right, so this is gonna go, oh, that looks good. Okay. Sweet. So we'll do this. Now this side is going to be longer than this because this actually is kind of on top over here. That'll all get solidified in a little while. I don't want to do too much here because there's stuff that has to go in between. So. All right. And I need another 3x2. Go. Another one of those old bricks. You don't want to put them in with any of this stuff. Let's do this. I'm going to put this back. That is a rough brick. Can't use that. go. This one has a 2x4 on it. All right. Could probably go less. That's starting to get heavy. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little. We're gonna leave that there, but we're gonna go less here. We don't want this too heavy either, otherwise, no, that'll be bad for the future. Can probably figure out a way to make this so it's like modular. Like each piece I can kind of use Technic or something. Oh, look, I didn't even realize that, but we have it now sits the way, you know, if it was, and it's almost as tall, which is going to be a little taller, obviously, because it juts out, but and actually it might stay, well, it'll stay a little bit on its own once we get this done. And one more here, and then we're gonna back it off a little bit more. All right, do I have enough red brick? Go for it. Nope, there's a, oh, there's a 2x2. That is one of these order style bricks. Hey, that didn't fall apart. That's cool. Let's do this. There we go. I could make this all hollow. But this is going to need support now. Another one. Special brick. Apparently someone drew eyes on this one. That's not a printing or anything. That's somebody did a thing. Kind of cute though. Right. We're almost done with this, actually, it looks like. In fact, I'm going to put this on here. And we're going to get, actually, you know what? I'm going to need to, I want to make sure our hinge gets enough touch. So I need to jut out this part here. See how nicely the bricks are sticking. We'll put the, I was gonna say we'll put the eyeballs there, but all right. We'll put the eyeballs in here. You won't see it. I misclicked blue, but I meant black. Honestly, though, I would have guessed light bluish gray. So, what is it? It's almost 9:30. All right, I will tell you the answer. So the answer of the poll is, in fact, black. Due to, now remember, this is Lego all time. So due to a number of factors, black is still 11% of the total of stuff that is printed. or that is produced as far as Lego bricks go. And the reason for that is black does so many things and supports so much stuff. Now, by volume, I didn't ask by volume. I just meant by, you know, number of pieces produced. By volume, it might be something else. But, ooh, no, that's bad. There's a bad brick in there. That looks bad. So by volume, don't know. But as far as, well, yeah. See, that's another thing. So tire, and I bet you that's what Ben was thinking, because he didn't get to say what his reasoning was, but he had to go. So all right. Oh, that was perfect. I got the right number. Could be right there, roughly. Actually, I think I have it. I think I have one too many. Tires would help, absolutely. Actually, that's going to make it so I can hide the hinge. And put, like... I need a red. Yep. Tires help. Okay, so depending on how I do this, I need two more. There we go. This is our leaning portion. Right there. So that looks, is that 4, 8? Ah, this part. So here's the part I gotta, okay, no, that's correct. That is exactly how it should be. Right like that. Have a good one, Jerry. Thanks for tuning in. That goes down to the right number of windows right there. All right. That looks fantastic. That turned out really good. Now, this is probably needs to be a little bit wider. I'm looking at the image, and this left side, yeah, no, it's about this wide. It looks, even though it's kind of in the shadow, it's about that wide, as wide as this, and so this would need to be like maybe 2 more studs. But I think for what I'm doing, for how it's turned, how I want it to turn out, I think this is good enough. Because this side I won't make quite as big. It'll be close. That window. Yeah, for being a rough, I mean, like, if I really wanted to do detail, like, I could. Right, I want to see something else, too. So let's get a long... I need a long... I want to see how sight-wise, how straight it is, because it should be straight from about here to here is what it should be. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. I think that's fantastic. All right, so that is the right height and everything. And then this just needs to hold on to it. This hinge only needs to just keep it there, because this is going to be supported. So, you know, the weight is going to be fine. So. All right. So if we do this like that, this sticks up off the ground a little bit. So this will be all played with. And then our main beam is going to run right here, right through that hole. So that's perfect. This worked out amazing. So. All right. So we got a half hour left. Let's do some blue garages. I don't know if I have quite a few blue. Though that one's painted. That's not blue. Let's look at the images again so we can see. Well, I can kind of see how long the garages are. And they look like they're a little bit longer than the red building. I don't have a really good top view. There, from the side view, yeah, they're just a tiny bit longer. So let's say, so this is 8 wide. The red is 8 wide. Let's make this, well, apparently I have a 10 by 1. I was not expecting that. Okay. There's another one. Okay. There we go. So we have, these will be the sides of the garage. Starting the sides of the garage. There's the back. Those are a little thick. Okay. Now how wide are those? It has to be at least, because it comes down to where this is. So the back of one garage will be like here. And then the other garage would be here. It's going to go further out. Yeah, it meets up. It actually goes a little bit past where the gray, well, I have it backwards right now. So these are pretty wide. I mean, they're going to fit cars, obviously, so. And the tops of them are kind of silvery, kind of gray, so that's interesting. All right, so how long is this? Well, let's do this. All right, so we've got this here, so this is 10. This is going to be another 4 to the corner here. That's the way I'm going to do it, 4. So this brown part is going to jut out and be 4. So we got 14, and then out here is going to be probably another, because that side corner, it's about the same. Looks goofy, but it's about the same. Width-wise. Yeah, maybe they should be more like 6. Because the red only goes so far on that side. So this should be like 2 longer, which wouldn't be too hard to do, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. This whole thing, this whole red part should be too wider, I think. And I can actually adjust that pretty easy myself, since we really only have sides to worry about. So okay. So if that's the case, so we got 6 on either side. So these garages, so that's 6 plus 10. We got 22. So if that's the case, we've got 22 for the garage, width-wise complete. I got another. We're gonna have a little gap for. This isn't quite minifig scale. Oh, that one's an even longer one. That one's a 12. Jeez. Ooh, I got some gray. Nice. All right, go away, go away. I need one more of you. These are all 8s. I am gonna make it so it has doors, because I mean, like, garage doors are pretty simple. I'm just gonna make them, they don't look like they have any hinges on them. I'm just gonna make them completely lift up. So Logan, are you still here? I wanted to show you something special. Look that up as far as a Lego piece goes with that sticker. See if you can find a Lego set that has that. Spirit of St. Louis. See what you find. We looked it up earlier and it's pretty cool. Never would have thought. Never would have thought. Come on, I want one more 8x1. I got 3. Alright, so only... oh well. Alright, close enough. Alright, so if we're going... So the stalls... Yeah. So that's from 1977. So somewhere in this mess I have most of that, apparently. That sticker's on there. So that was Lego's old style interpretation of the Spirit of St. Louis. Okay. So our width is going to be 4 for our gap in between. So that means here, and there, and then so we got 2 and then 6 total. So okay. I think this is correct. No, because that would be too many. Because this is 22 total. Wait, no, yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 6 on either side. 22. So we have 18, so it has to be 9. So doors are going to be an odd number. You know what? Let's see the back. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna leave it like this. I think the 8 gap will be fine. The doors will be 6 wide total because I'm gonna put in some pieces. But on the back side, we're gonna do. Oh, I only have 2 of those. Okay, well, those will go on the outside. Okay, so I need a couple. And then 2 by 2. So the blue is the part that I have least, and thankfully it's the smallest, but also makes this more difficult. So there we go. All right. So we're gonna have that. And if I look again at the side, there we go. So the garage goes so far. The whole thing almost looks like it slopes down, and I see a little bit of yellow actually back here. It's kind of interesting. You know, I don't see it in anything else, but there's a little bit of yellow right in between the red and the blue of the garage and the leaning part. Didn't notice that before, but that's all right. We'll get to that. All right, welcome home. I don't know. Do you consider Pittsburgh home? I know you have a home, like that's elsewhere, but hey, maybe whenever you're back in Pittsburgh, you can work on a certain instruction. Actually, I think UR's given up on you. All right, lots of blue, lots of blue. Home away from home. I like that. That works. Okay. Pieces for now. So let's there. Thick garages, but that's okay. And these won't need to be super tall. They won't. Okay, there's our garage base. And again, we're going to have it so wide, and then so my guess is there's an entry between the garages, and that's why the beam goes on top. And the garages, from this picture that I'm looking at, it looks like they're up just a little bit from the rest of the house because of how it sits on the cliff, and all this other, you know, all the gray that's underneath the garage and everything else is all support, like concrete and things, so that like the thing doesn't fall away from the hillside, I would imagine. So these will be sitting up like a little bit higher than everything else. I thought it was funny that Jerry knew exactly what this was. She's like, is that the house that's up there on the south side looking over the city? Yep. Yes, it is. But once I get this done, at least done enough that like I can move it around and stuff, this is going to become another part of my town that I'm doing for Brick Erie, and basically celebrating the old school ways of, you know, building. I mean, like this is the old school way for sure. It's just, you know, 4x2s and 2x2s. You know, this is how you designed and built things. Like this was the system that Lego had in place. They even called it that. They called it Deluxe Town System, or, you know, things like that. And, you know, and the reason why I'm doing this, I mean, I have some of the things like that are official sets that are, you know, designed a little bit differently. They have actual doors and things like that. But like, the reason I'm doing this is because so many kids came up with such good ideas, including one that was slightly inappropriate, but I won't go into detail on that one. They just came up with really good ideas during International Day of Play for using just 2x4 Lego bricks, like I'm using here a lot, and came up with really good designs of just like things that you're like, oh yeah, that looks exactly like, you know, like they said it is. And I was like, you know, Lego started off there, and their stuff was still real. I mean, like the plane that like Logan just looked up, even without the cool lettering that's there. If you looked at the style of the plane that they designed, you would know based on the time period that it was the Spirit of St. Louis. Just based on, I don't know what color it was. I'll have to look it up. But like, just those simple things, you could tell just from a lot of 2x4 bricks, a couple wheels, and some other odds and ends. You knew what it was, and that's the way kind of like it used to be. In my thinking, and my objecting to modulars and things like that is, I feel like Lego has gotten away from that a lot. Too many specialty pieces in order to make things look perfect. And I think a lot of people design stuff that way now. They use all these tiles and things to smooth everything out so much that you don't even see that it's brick. You know, it just looks. Is that what it is? Yellow plain black wings? All right. Well, then there we go. So it's like I said, people of the time period especially would be like, hey, I know what plane that is. Looks just like it. So thank you for the confirmation, Logan. So that's my thinking. So we're gonna go up here. I'm gonna go back to the back. So these are really tall garages, if you notice. So they probably have some storage or something that's up in there. So I'm guessing the garage goes. That would be perfect almost. Height-wise and everything. I want to go one higher, simply because I want to go like Lego person height. You know. And what I'll do is I'll put hinges in here and have the black doors be able to lift up. Are they black? Are they dark gray? Something? Whatever they are. And that beam is really interesting. From thinner, too. I may have enough brick. But anyway, that's why I'm designing it. I'm not doing like Hoth will be back from the BAM store by the time we do Erie. But I've done Hoth before, and I think there's still more to do to complete it, but well, see, I understand having some of that. I mean, like, and if you look even at like the original, classic space stuff, there was some slightly customized pieces in order to get like the blasters and things like that. There was some customization, no question. The problem is everything is overly customized, I think, and so that's. Because I completely get your point, but I think there's just too much of it going on, and yeah, so that's what I want to, kind of focus on. Be like, hey, simple is just as good, and in some ways, because again, look how much some of those things cost. Like it's because those specialized pieces and stuff increase the cost by quite a lot, and so if you look, Lego is just getting more and more expensive, and they say, oh, tariffs, oh, whatever the reason, and it's like, no, it's a lot of it is just how customized the brick is. Almost like that, the saying, too much of a good thing is, end up being a bad thing. And I think that's kind of what they've gotten to. Do this. I think that's high enough. We'll bridge the, whoops, wrong ones. Bridge these now. Like I said, I'll put in put in thingies later. And Logan, I was saying earlier, all of these pieces are from the one Lego lot that I got. I love saying that, lot that I got 2 months ago, where it had the yellow castle in it and everything. All of this is just from that. It's just pretty remarkable. Well, to an extent, the Technic does make sense. I mean, like, it's okay to use Technic and techniques like that in order to keep your stuff, you know, solid and the way it should be. But there's other reasons for it. I mean, like, for instance, look at the Smart Play stuff. It's like $30 more for each of those sets, simply because they added in some electronics. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So the cost increase is more than that. A lot of, you know, there's some R&D. I don't think it's nearly as much. Nearly as much being as they say, the licensing costs, as they say it is. So there's multiple factors, but it all boils down to, I think, just the way they're doing things. And yeah. So I'm doing things a better way, or I guess I should say a different way, but I think this way is better and makes more sense. Oh yeah, I agree, absolutely. I have those sets as well. In fact, I think the original police station with the guys that have no arms. Have the base plate for it. I haven't built it, and I won't have time to do that for this particular display. But yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty sad where things have gone, I think. Let me do this the same across, so they're mirrored. And I think overall this is going to look really cool when it's done. And a lot of it is just 2x4 brick. Alright, let's start. I think that's about... So if we do... So I'm doing this on the back side, obviously. So we do this. It should be about there. These need to be a lot taller, unfortunately. Like I said, they are tall garages. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I have enough blue here to do that. Well, I have thinner blue, so... So if that's the case, if I'm going to go that much higher, I'm going to go one more. But the tie striker instead of interior space for play has 90%. Really, I'm surprised at that. That doesn't make any sense. Like the tie striker, that should be a playset. It doesn't sound like it's a playset. That would upset me. I'd be like, what is this? I can't play with it. Yeah, I can imagine. That's where you look at it and you go, what? Like, what is this? Oh, we're at the 5-minute mark. Which is funny to say that after, like, all the time that, like, the clock has been catching up to the actual hour. So we are almost done. So remember, as of right now, until Star Wars sets take over, and actually, recently, gray is the #1 produced piece currently, but black still overall is in the lead. So, but may that be a lesson to you. You don't want gray to take over and everything is gray. Then you need to buy more colorful sets. No more Star Wars. Buy more friend set. That's what my wife said. Buy more friend sets. Anyway, so just to announce real quick, again, reiterate, this coming Saturday, I will be at the BAM store. I will be streaming live as I build Angry Bill. Angry Bill is the Bricker Builds version of Bullet Bill, and I will be building him starting at noon. I think Gray's got his number. I will be building him starting at noon on Saturday. So tune in. We'll probably start a little... How big is Angry Bill? He's full size. I don't know what that means, but that's what they say. Angry Bill is he's big. So if you saw me doing Pikachu, right? Back whenever. It's quite big. I'm betting he'll take around 3 hours. Maybe more, maybe less. We'll find out. I'm going to finish this part up just real rough. We're going to do the roof a little bit. And then we will be done for the night. So let's do this. I think this is good. I think this is a good size now. I mean, it really it's really hard to gauge. It looks like actually part of the I'm looking at it, the part of the blue goes down further than the driveway actually goes. It's just kind of weird how it's designed, but you know, that's what I'm going with. What just some pictures. Let's get some blue roof. I know it's gray, but I'm gonna do blue for right now. I think it'll look cool enough, just keeping with the color theme. We'll curve it a bit. I know it's not very helpful at all, but you know, that's they said Bill is full size, so whatever that means to you, I guess. But no, he's quite big. I just looking at and knowing, since I've built Pikachu and I've built Shy Guy and everything, looking at just like the overall piece, like I didn't look at the piece count, but looking at the overall like his structure and everything, like it's definitely, oh, that's a bad roof. He definitely is pretty big, so it'll be fun. You can tell these are older blue. Let's see the slight gray in this. I need one more. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I'm gonna do just for the fun of it. Switch. The reason I did that. Oh yeah, well that old blue actually isn't too bad. It's the dark blue that's really bad. Gotta be careful. So even though this is not blue, I'm just going to do blue. Just because I think it stays with the coloring nice. Now we use slanted. And I had 2x3 slants out. There we go. That's a little off color, but I'll get that fixed. Dark blue break? Nah, it's very similar to brittle brown, brittle dark red. Same idea. It doesn't break nearly as often, but it does have more tendency to break than others. So just that's been my experience. I've seen it, I've heard it. Go snap, snap. Okay, so what I need to do though is I need to have this. Well, that'll be easy enough to get to. So we're gonna put the big beam through right here, and so I need access to. Let's see how the beam looks. So it should be down there. Okay, that'd be good. All right, that's about where I'm gonna finish. So the simply because I'm gonna have to customize some of these things, but overall, I think from the back side, this is going to be like this, kinda, and then from the front, we're gonna have our big bay windows. And this is kind of gonna go here, like that. And then you won't really see it. You would have to be there in person, unfortunately. And then our blue garage pieces are going to go right here. So there we go. That's it. That's what we've done. So thanks everyone for tuning in. As always, we got this mock well on its way. I don't think it'll be too much more to finish. There's a lot of detailed junk in figuring things out. So, but yeah, be able to do this. So again, thank you so much everyone for tuning in, and look for me Saturday. It'll be live. Like I said, we'll be starting the build at noon. So till next time, as always, may the brick be with you and keep on building. We'll see ya.